All that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 18 on that one. And that'll be good for a Seattle first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. His throw here's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Going to Rawls on the dump off. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 14 there. Charles, for Graham, so much concern early in the season about whether he'd be ready to play this year, what would happen recovering from the tendon. Not only was he ready, he played every game this season for Seattle.
And it wasn't just the injury concern with Jimmy Graham. It's how Seattle runs their offense. Remember, when he was in New Orleans, he could expect a ton of passes to come his way. But in Seattle, that number was going to be reduced. Would he be able to maximize what they were going to throw in his direction? And he certainly did this year, 65 catches.
65 catches, just shy of 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, too.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception picked off by Landon Collins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's now thrown 4 interceptions, and I hate to mention this, but he's a guy that has twice thrown 5 in his career in a single game.
Hard to believe, isn't it? And the tough part is, playing in this NFL, you don't normally just back off totally from throwing the football, do you? So potential exists for that 5th one to occur.
So after the INT, it's Manning. He's going to air one out. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Manning going to throw. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the 1st quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the 2nd one.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Manning. He's going to wind up and air it out. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Giants. Victor Cruz, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Giants add on to their lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, one by land, two by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1. We want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
Well, conventional football 101,
tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the off.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He was looking for Thomas Rawls there, and that'll bring up second down.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there, a drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. Six interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. This is Jennings. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
Over the middle to Beckham. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. first out of this Super Bowl. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
Brandon, we're not even out of the first quarter yet, and that's his third receiving touchdown of the game. Tremendous job, and I think this might come under the heading of when someone has the hot hand, you've got to keep going back to them.
And on the defensive side, they better figure something out quickly.
Yeah, I think that no matter what, you've got to do something to slow him down. I don't care if it's double or triple coverage. Make someone else emerge, because right now he's absolutely shredding them.
So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head, because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They got to steal it and try and gain an advantage, and they tried. They just didn't get it done.
It's a pickup of 14 there, and it's good enough for a Seattle first. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Second and 10 now. Wilson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage, to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
They go play action now. Wilson going up top. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation instead.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So on fourth down, on comes Stephen Hauschka to try and get the Seahawks 3. This from 54 yards away. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. Well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled, and they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Cliff Averill in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Throwing is Manning, looking deep downfield. And got his man, complete. Touchdown, Giants. Roger Lewis, 77 yards. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Well, not content with a first-quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On second down, Wilson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And a bit...